Mark Adams would not be my front runner for National Coach of the Year at this point in the season, but he's on the short list. 5 guys there: Tommy Lloyd, Bruce Pearl, Ed Cooley, Mark Adams, you name it. Significant win for Texas Tech. I'll refer to the bracket reveal as well because obviously it's newsy, it's relevant. Texas Tech knocking on that top 10 status overall. Texas was the last team, it was the number 16 team. I don't know if the Longhorns are going to get back to the 4 line. Like if the committee convened right now, Texas wouldn't be the 16 team. It would have fallen off in that top 4 spot overall. I don't know if Texas is going to get back there. It's going to make the tournament with ease. It's going to get a good seed, and that's a team that's got a lot of experience. But Texas Tech is just so much more well-balanced. And this is a Texas Tech team that's not even fully healthy. You know, Kevin McCullough still got to work his way back. They've gotten Terrence Shannon Jr. back in the mix. But when I watch Texas Tech play, I keep going back to a couple conversations I had with coaches earlier this year, Mark Few, Bill Self among them, where they said what Mark Adams did 4 years ago, working under Chris Beard at Texas Tech and installing that defensive scheme, those principles, those philosophies. If you really take a look around men's college basketball, the game of copycat has kind of taken over, and Scott Drew would even admit some of those principles that Adams instituted into Texas Tech, he used a season ago and still uses now, and it got Baylor in a national championship. He is an elite defensive mind. He got that job. On the outside looking in, some were wondering, well, how much of it was really Chris Beard? Mark Adams has had a better season, undeniably. Sweeps Texas. They get, you know, a mini army into hostile territory in that building there, and it's an incredible win. Texas Tech is going to be a good seed. I think its ceiling is a 2. Its floor at this point, frankly, feels like a 4. Like I just don't see a way in which Texas Tech is gonna fall off. Offensively, are they ultra dynamic? No. Are they reliable? No. But defensively, they are so good. They just strangle you and they force you to play their game. Sometimes that can backfire. They've had a couple of hideous ones, but more often than not, they get it done. And I can't be more impressed with what Mark Adams has done.
Well, it was Chris Beard that put Texas Tech really on the map, getting to the Final Four. What are you feeling right now if you're Chris Beard? You go to Texas, your rival in the state of Texas, and you lose both games to your old school.
I mean, it's Chris Beard's going to be kind of wallowing in some sorrows tonight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no way he would have envisioned. I promise you, even in his private but most truthful moments, when Texas was the team that won the transfer portal. College football gets even a little bit more buzz for the transfer portal and what's going on there. But I assure you, last April, May, into June, when men's college basketball, the transfer portal had more players in it than had ever happened before, more than 1,800 players. And when you boiled it all down, Texas, under Beard, was the team that clearly looked like it got the most talent to come out of the portal. And because of that, Texas, in the eyes of some, not necessarily me, but in the eyes of some people, was a preseason top 5 team. I was never that sold on it because, frankly, there were a lot of really good players that came from losing programs that you had a lot of high usage rates. I was always curious how Beard was going to be able to make all of those pieces fit. And to his credit, there has been plenty of success this season, but he's got to be licking his wounds a bit here. It's not like Texas is some massive disappointment. I'm not saying that's the case, but things have not gone quite as smoothly in his first season as he expected it, as Texas fans expected this to be. And frankly, a lot of people around men's college basketball wondered, would Texas be able to step in and be right there with Kansas and Baylor and make the Big 12 a 3-horse race? Well, look up. It's not Texas. It's Kansas, Baylor, which got a convincing win over at home, shorthanded on Saturday, and it's Texas Tech instead. So Texas still has good value.
Yep.
I can see a situation this team on the 5 line, the 6 line of Keem. Let's say they're a 6. They get a good matchup against the 3 in their bracket. They make a little run. That's still there, but they have fallen short of expectations this season.
Well, the Red Raiders feeling good. They have won 6 of their last 7 games. Another ranked game, this one in the Big Ten. Illinois goes on the road to Michigan State and wins a back-and-forth game. Look, Michigan State made this close down the stretch, right? I mean, this could have went either way, but Illinois bounces back from a road loss to Rutgers. Then they got to go on the road to East Lansing, where they hadn't won since 2015, and they get a very big win against Tom Izzo and the Spartans.
Yeah, the big picture outcome here is the fact that Illinois was able to keep pace in the Big Ten with the likes of Purdue. Michigan State, you know, Malik Hall got dinged up early in this game. The Spartans are a bit of a lost team at the moment. Like, they could be anywhere from a number 6 to a number 9 or 10 seed when we get to the NCAA tournament. I don't really know what to make of this. Now, Tyson Walker, the Northeastern transfer from Michigan State, he did have a good game. If you're Tom Izzo, you take the wins where you can kind of get them, but this was on your home floor, and you made a nice push, but Illinois got up early. Kofi Coburn, 27 points, was good. Grandison was good as well. They combined for 51 of Illinois' points. They were solid in this spot here. And Illinois, they still, to me, they're that team where there are enough pieces there that no matter what seed line they ultimately end up on 22 days from now when we get to Selection Sunday, they're a team you have to take seriously to make a deep NCAA tournament run. Remember, a year ago, Illinois wasn't a 1 seed in the midseason top 16 reveal. It was just outside of that, but it played its way onto the 1 line when it mattered most on Selection Sunday. And then what happened? It got the brutal assignment of playing an underseeded Loyola Chicago team in the second round. Illinois got knocked out. I talked to Brad Underwood 2 weeks ago. He said it took him until August to watch that game finally. Said I had to stop torturing myself. I had to get that game behind me. This has been something motivating him and motivating every player on that roster who was in that locker room last March the entire way, because they know that feeling. I would be surprised, although it's not unthinkable, the tournament has a way of really providing such great drama and unexpected stuff. I would be surprised if this Illinois team doesn't get out of the first weekend this year in the NCAA tournament. Coburn's a top 5 national player of the year. And again, I talked with Brad Underwood. He told me we are going to pace Andre Curbello's return. He's out for 2 months to start the season because of a concussion. And once we get to end of the regular season weekend or Big Ten tournament, Akeem, that's when I think you'll get Curbello at full strength. Trent Frazier's insane. He had a big 3 elite defender. They've got all the pieces there. I really like what Illinois has, even if they're not going to eventually be a number 1 or maybe not even a number 2 seed.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.